Okay, my name is David Behrens, and I'm a public safety communications officer, and I worked for the city for 24 and a half years. Well, initially, when I was initially hired, I started at the fire department as a dispatcher in 1988. And then when we combined the communication centers from the police and fire together in September of '96, then I also started using law enforcement dispatch also. Of course, we of course take 911 calls. We take non-emergency calls. We process the information if an officer or fire department personnel need to be sent. We send them out to that location. And of course, dispatchers worldwide like to joke around. We get to tell cops and firemen where to go. Typically, training a dispatcher, generally, if everything goes good, about 4 months. If we can go from front end to back end, that includes call taking. And there's three different positions. There's what we call our Channel 3 that runs the information checks for the officers, checks like for stolen equipment or articles, guns, and such like that, or wanted persons. Our Channel 1, which dispatches all the officers to locations, keeps track of them while they're out in the field, and then the fire dispatch, who dispatches not only the city fire department, which includes the ambulances, but also the volunteer fire departments in the county. Well, I enjoy what I do, and yes, there is some pressure to it, but I enjoy what I do. I enjoy because you're helping people, and you're getting help to people who need it, and it's rewarding, and it's definitely not for the pay, but it's for the satisfaction of being able to help people. Before I came here, I worked at a couple of restaurants. I worked a couple different delivery jobs, and then of course once I got here, I've stuck with this. So. First of all, where their location is, because if we can't know where they are, we don't know where to send help to. So we've got to know the location first, and then what's the emergency. If we can get at least those two basic pieces of information, then we can get officers going to that location and try to fill in more as it comes available. But once again, those two primary locations, where we're at and what's going on. Once we get the call entered, as we enter stuff, it will drop in automatically in the notation field where other people can see what's going on and relay that information. The officers can see that, or firefighters are supposed to be able to see that as they're going on their way to the scene. Sometimes it's very difficult. I mean, sometimes you have to try to get their attention and try to get them focused on what's going on. Try to direct the information that you need to get. Because sometimes they will ramble on about other things, and you need to find out what's going on, and try to direct them and get them, to tell you the information that you need to get. Once again, the variety of things that comes up. And sometimes you have situations that we've never faced before. It's really not covered under policy, and you have to try to use your best judgment on what to do to how to direct that call, and at least get someone started to that incident. When we get accidents, we get tons of 911 calls now. And it's of course just seen over the years, the number of 911 calls we've gotten, on a wreck when very few people had cellular phones. We get very few. And now that almost everyone has a cellular phone, and a wreck occurs, you can tell when the board lights up that we've got something big going on. So. Well, I volunteer a lot. I volunteer with several different organizations such as San Angelo React, San Angelo Emergency Corps, Pecan Creek Volunteer Fire Department. I'm also an amateur radio operator, so I enjoy doing some of that volunteer work. And I've done some of those for longer than I've been as a dispatcher. So. I've lived in San Angelo all my life. Of course, I was born and raised here. I went to Trinity Lutheran School, then Edison, then Central High School. Tried ASU. I won't say that I actually did very good, but I did, take some classes at ASU. And then I just liked the town. And then, of course, I worked a couple odd jobs, and then, of course, been with the city ever since. Good day away from work is just being able to relax, not have anything to worry about. And of course, like I said, I do enjoy going out and doing some volunteer stuff. And it's of course I've developed a lot of friendships that way. And so you have friends that we work with all the time on our volunteer stuff. A good day at work is when everything kind of falls in place. When you're able to get the information good, and get good outcomes on everything, and get the help out there as quickly as possible.